All right.
All right, welcome to episode number 49 of the Sundowners Golf Club podcast. We have a wonderful, wonderful Masters to talk about today. I'm Giovanni. I'm your host. I've got my brother here who was alongside me all day today, Mario. Of course, we got Matt Caldwell back and our, what do I always call you, resident Augusta National expert who thought Ricky may have won a major here. Guys, Matt, why don't you take us away, Matt? Talk us through what we all got to witness today and tell us why it's so special.
Well, so, I mean, the first things first, Rory goes back to back. What is it? Right on the 20-year mark anniversary of players going back to back, right? So 20 years since Tiger did it, right? Or about. So we have our fourth guy to go back to back. So that's special. I mean, that's not the easiest thing to do. This tournament isn't easy to win. And so to go back to back is huge, right? And you know, Rory, to be frank, pissed away a lead yesterday, right? He only played one over, but all of the guys that could make trouble for him played well yesterday and put themselves in contention. And it wasn't going to be easy for him today. And he did all of the things he needed to do, not without some mistakes, but he made huge birdies on the back nine and gave himself a cushion and just didn't give it up, right? I mean, it got down to 18. He couldn't make anything worse than they were saying a 5. I don't know where. It felt like he had more of a cushion there, but since Scotty was 2 strokes behind him. So he did all the right things and he won it. So congrats to Rory, back to back. And I'll stay true to what I said yesterday, G. I don't know if you heard it, but I said if Rory goes back to back, Matt Caldwell's on board Rory 3-peat 2027. So there you have it.
All right. First. All right, Matt, that's big of you. Rory or Matt's kind of a staunch Rory hater, so I appreciate you speaking objectively on the topic, Matt. Jared, who on the other hand is a Rory lifer like I am. Jared, how are you feeling right now, buddy?
I mean, obviously, as anyone would objectively admit, in your heart after Saturday, everyone's like, all right, well, stats like to be broken and people like to make stats out of things that they saw going the other way. And everyone's going, there's no chance, Rory has any way to win this tournament. And especially with how Saturday went with people just absolutely going off. And then you seen Sunday today, like earlier this morning, people go, I mean, Matt and I were in the group chat, we were talking about like everyone 4 under was just going insane. And we're like, oh boy, it's out there, guys. Like this is out there. And then to see it end basically where it started was kind of crazy. And I have a tendency to be very pessimistic when it comes to any sorts of things on Sunday. So I was
about a group chat.
Yeah, very tentative the entire day. In my heart, I was always Team Rory just because I've always been a Rory fan. But I think Matt would agree with this. I'm sure we'll get into it. But it was kind of I love the leaderboard, and the leaderboard was unbelievable, I think, throughout the day, even down to the last minute. But the back 9 from those, let's say, just like top 10 guys was kind of blah. I mean, and blah doesn't necessarily mean, nothing, because pars are big and things can happen whenever on every hole, no matter what. But yeah, it's just kind of a lackluster back 9 from a lot of those last groups, but still exciting. I mean, it was, I think, like we talked about last night, you'd have to go back and look at every leaderboard and, really dive into where they're at in golf rankings and stuff. But from my experience, the last 8 to 10 years to finish here is just, I thought this leaderboard was unbelievable. I mean, so at no point, even like through 16 holes, I was like, I mean, there's still so much here that could happen.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of the leaderboard, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on maybe certain moments of today that really stand out to you. But just to look at the leaderboard, I mean, we thought it was stacked before, but all the names that were maybe, we'll call them imposters, they're gone now that the tournament's over. So obviously Rory wins at 12 under. Scotty gets solo second, 1 back. 4-way tie for third with Tyrrell Hatton, Russ Henley, Justin Rose, Cameron Young. Tell me when to stop when you hear somebody that's not a big hitter, okay? After that, we got Colin Morikawa and Sam Burns. Then we got Max Homa, who had an awesome day today. Xander Schauffele, then Jake Knapp at 7 under. Spieth, Matsuyama, Koepka, Reed, and Cantlay. Oh, and Jason Day all at 5 under. And then we get to Hovland, and maybe we'll stop at McNeely, okay? But that's the top 18 for you. All big time stars in the game of golf. So obviously, Masters is known for, really challenging these guys through, the way they set the course and the way it's designed. And, it totally was 10 out of 10, I think, this year, all the cream rise to the top. But Mario, why don't you tell us, today, we watched alongside each other the entire day. What was maybe a moment for you where you thought, maybe Rory's pissing it away, or, where do you think Rory finally regained control, or what's just a moment for you from today?
Almost right off the rip, Rory's been struggling all week with his driving ability. He was tied for 90th in the field in driving. Horrible. He ripped the first driver right down the center of the fairway, and I was like, oh no, this could be it. That was one of the, right from the get-go, I was like, okay, this could just be an absolute Rory show. So from the first drive, I was like, Rory's going to come out like he was playing on Friday. And then I think it was just right after on hole 3. Sorry, I'm getting
3. Yeah, 3 is obviously Matt mentioned it earlier before we started, but 3, he walks away with a birdie, which Matt's favorite stat here apparently is that every Masters winner birdies 3 on Sunday, and Rory did that.
Yeah, and so he started off really good, and then what hole did he bogeyed on hole 5, correct?
He doubled. Is it double 2?
Yeah,
double 3.
Doubled 4.
Doubled 4. Sorry. Yeah. So
doubled 4 and then bogeyed 6. So
yeah. And so after starting to see that, I was getting a little. That's kind of when I was starting to root for Cam Young. Let's be serious. This Cam Young. I wanted it to be more of a battle than I thought that towards the end it kind of wasn't between the two. I thought these two guys had a huge ability to kind of go hole for hole. And after hole 4, I was like, all right, Cam Young is about to just start ripping it. And it just it's funny. Giovanni and I make the joke all the time. It's just boring golf, just being so good at golf that all you do is just shoot pars. And to me, God, I wish I could do that. But to these guys, that's just a normal. I'm this is boring. Get some birdies in there, guys.
Yeah, it does seem like those guys for a while. I wouldn't say stuck in neutral for McIlroy because he definitely had his ups and downs in typical Rory fashion. But Cam Young seemed to be very well stuck in neutral today. I think he parred every hole in the back 9. I think for me, Rory was. It's almost like having a 6-shot lead, giving up a 6-shot lead, and then having to win in the last 3 or 4 holes is kind of exactly how we'd expect Rory to do it, right? I was obviously false confidence for me was this thing's over after Friday, but deep down inside, it's I really don't know if I like Rory playing with a 6-shot lead. There's a reason Rory can hit that shot on 15 like he did last year, or even the shot today on 18 when he hits it way right. It's of course, this is the shot Rory has to hit. Or on 8 when he hits that huge draw into the par 5 8th and puts it to 25 feet. It's how do you miss 2 putts under 4 feet in a row on hole number 4, and then pull this shot off? It's just typical Rory fashion, man. That and I don't know. It's just I'm on top of the world right now. It's stinking awesome they went back to back. But Matt, what are some moments from today that stick out to you, Rory or otherwise?
Well, I think I'm focused on Cam here, and I'm looking at Cam's stuff here. 6 of the last 9 holes, while he's parring, he's losing strokes to the field. 6 of the 9 last holes. So the birdies were out there today, and he just didn't do it. And it's not like he was necessarily playing bad golf. He couldn't finish. And I think I put in the group chat, there's 3 holes where Cam was inside Rory on the same line for a putt. And, Rory had an extra 3 or 4 feet. And so he's seeing the line, and he drained none of those birdie putts, none of them. And it's stuff like that, like these guys at the very, very top, when you have those opportunities, you have to can 1 or 2 of them. You have to. And that was the difference in him winning the Masters and getting T3. It really was. It was just, you got to close out, man. And it's kind of a bummer. And Jared kind of already said it, but I was so stoked for today. And, we said yesterday, Rory did the thing we kind of thought would happen, right? We're like, Rory's not out of this. We kind of went through a list of guys that went over par on Saturday and still won the tournament. And since 88, what I said, it happened 7 times. So it's not unheard of for it to happen. And I think it happened a couple times, even guys on Sundays, but it's not uncommon. And that guys have had worse than +1 on Saturdays and won the tournament. And so he was never out of this thing. And this thought that it was never his isn't right. But I give him credit to just doing the things he needed to on the back 9. And I'm kind of just disappointed in Cam. I think that this was his tournament, and he just didn't do it, man. Rose had it for a minute, and he just absolutely melted. I don't know. That was a pretty unbelievable back 9 for him in a bad way. But the thing I'm gonna remember in the coming weeks, when we get back to here next season, is just that Cam was that close and just couldn't do it.
Yeah. So Jared, I got a question for you on the Cam Young note, but when Cam Young first came out on tour, it was him and Will Zalatoris that came out, and they were performing like crazy at majors. Of course, they weren't winning them, but I just quickly fact checked this. But in Cam Young's first PGA Championship, he finished 3rd place at Southern Hills when JT won, and I think that was the first time Cam Young came on the map. And for a long time, he was the guy that never won on tour. He was always kind of put in that upper echelon of golfers without results, And does this tournament, just the way he finished and the way he performed from Thursday to today, does that change Cam Young's kind of the way we perceive Cam Young, or is he kind of a different player after this week?
I would say so. I think I'll take this from Matt, because Matt I thought he made an incredible point where when Rory doubled 4, it went from Rory was 10 and Cam Young was 12, and Matt was saying like, this is when it's real. When you're tied for a lead on teeing off 1, I'm not saying there's no pressure there. That's ridiculous. But like, it's not the same. And then when Rory doubles and when they're walking to the 5th tee and he's got a 2-shot lead, now it's like, this is real. Now I'm lead. I have 2-shot lead. Like, the pressure is just exponential. I mean, it's quadrupled, million times how much pressure. And the reason why I picked Cam Young to win originally in the week was I have always seen like just how he does interviews and from my perspective on his demeanor, I guess you could call it, he just seems like a guy that's just got ice in his veins. Like he's to me seems so unaffected by maybe pressure is the best way to put it. And I was saying like, oh yeah, that he's got it 100%. And then when Matt made that point, and then he kind of since then, I think objectively you could say like kind of, I wouldn't say fell apart by any means. I mean, he shot still even on the back, which is no joke. So that Sunday at the Masters, but seeing that, I wouldn't say it necessarily. Well, I guess I have to. It doesn't like make me think he can't do it by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like, ooh, I see it. There's a crack. Like it just is kind of changed. Like I was like, oh, ice in his veins. He's got it. He's dialed, whatever. But then it's like, ooh, but 2026 Masters had a 2-shot lead through 5, which I mean, a lot of golf.
To your point, right? We said that Rory doubles 4, Cam pars 5, and then bogeys 6, bogeys 7, gets one back on 8, and then bogeys 9.
See,
so he had the lead. He had the lead, and then it vanished, and he just didn't score again for the rest of the round. Not once.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what else to say, man. That's
I'm gonna just go back to the stuck in neutral thing. It's tough because I do think my feelings of Cam Young going into this today, or even this tournament, honestly, after him winning the Players, it just kind of felt like he maybe graduated a little bit from kind of this maybe artificially higher ranked player than, in our minds, right? He's kind of a Masters contender, but he just hasn't crossed the finish line yet. So I had a different feeling of him going into it. But maybe this is just a sign of, he's just not quite there yet, right? From a, mental competitor standpoint. And like you said, Jared, it's got to be, I mean, he got to play with Rory on Thursday and Friday this week. And so he got to watch Rory get to 12 under over 2 days. And that's got to be kind of intimidating in and of itself. And then you're walking up today in a tie with him. I mean, that's just some big boy stuff right there. And, maybe it's just, just another bit of scar tissue that'll help him moving forward.
It's just different, I think.
Yeah. Let's see, Mario, do you want to talk us through Hao Tong Lee a little bit? We got dropped coverage, and next thing you know, he was 9 strokes worse than we saw him on 15.
What happened?
Yeah, I guess I'm glad that they didn't show it just to spare him a little bit, because I mean, this guy was in the mix. He was -8, and our buddy texted us that he was rooting for this guy. So I mean, he was definitely one that we are going to keep our eyes on. I mean, the guy, he had some weird shots yesterday for sure. Some random chunks, and so I don't know if he was just not feeling it or what, but the guy was playing lights out for, I mean, pretty much 3 days.
I'm watching his 13th hole as Mario speaks right now, and I've never seen an angle of this part of this hole before.
And so it was, I mean, G and I looked at each other like immediately once they pulled up his last putt on 18, and we saw the +1 next to his name, because we're like, whoa, how do you go from -8 from 6 holes ago to finish with your last putt at +1? And so we were just waiting for the TV to show the scorecard, and it's tough once you see a 6 on a par 3, a 10 on a par 5. And I mean, hey, I guess shout out him for birdieing in the next hole, but didn't do him much after that.
Yeah, tough day for Hao Tong Lee. He is a fun guy to watch, honestly. He's pretty funny when you put a mic in front of him. I think I think he had said he was.
Hey, he gave me a gift that I don't think I'm ever going to stop using. I made a GIF. I sent it to the group chat. I'm going to force my way into using it forever. It's just a clip of him talking about his issues two nights ago, going into yesterday's round.
Yeah, I think I read.
I don't know if you saw that interview. Did you see the interview?
I did. He said he was glued to the toilet, and then he goes on to wear white on white the rest of the week, which is a brave, bold move. I did on the No Laying Up podcast. Somehow they got I don't know if this was tongue in cheek or not, but they did get some of his Whoop data, and it said he had a 1% recovery on Friday morning. So honestly, shout out to Hao Tong Lee.
God.
I mean, for him to show up at the Open Championship last year in a final group with Scotty, and then essentially played, what would this be? 67 really good holes being in the mix. It's pretty stinking good. Yeah, I see it now. I live in the toilet, he said.
My buddy yesterday,
all-time sentence that's ever been uttered.
Because he played so good yesterday. My buddy made a comment. He's like, well, that's what happens when you're, eating whatever he's eating. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, he's just, on the toilet all the time. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. He's like, yeah, he just went at an interview saying like he's just been on the toilet for 2 days. It's like, what? Like, and then just goes like lights out.
That is funny. Well, hey guys, we're on our side.
When he topped the ball into the water.
15 yesterday. Yeah, that was that. In fact, that's the exact shot, Matt, you had said would happen when I sent that clip of Adam Scott getting ready to hit an approach on 15. I think you had said my second groove wouldn't even know that I hit a golf ball, and then Hao Tong Lee goes and does that exact thing. The ball never got higher than 3 feet in the air. Now, guys, on our end, we're gonna keep it short on our end. Okay, we got my entire family sitting in the living room. We got babies crying. We got kids throwing stuff everywhere. But I do want to give a shout out to Scotty Scheffler. We went this long without really talking a lot about Scotty Scheffler.
Unreal.
Really easy to forget that he was 12 strokes back just less than 48 hours ago.
Unbelievable.
Insane. Jared called it. He said, we got to draw the line somewhere, and we drew it at Scotty for how far back is too far back. And I mean, he was one swing away, one putt away from being in a playoff with Rory. Insane. It's almost like, I'm not going to ask this question, Matt, but he's got to be thinking back to how many early in the week, man. He had a lot of missed putts short. We talked about how 7 today was like playing as like a 3.2 scoring average. Scotty misses the green there and has to settle for par. It's just so many things with Scotty's game that, he just didn't have it. And then, of course, just like any other major championship, he finds himself in the top 5. In this case, a solo second.
Insane. Absolutely insane. I didn't say this out loud, but I'm going to admit to it here. There was a minute this week where I was thinking, like, is this where we see Rory gain in the OWGR and Scotty, might not be, the number 1 in the world anymore? But you get solo second at the Masters, you're firmly still the best golfer in the world.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. We were
unreal.
My mom was asking questions about guys playing, and they were like, "Well, what's Rory ranked?" I was like, "I think number 2 in the world," and she's like, "Not for long after this week." And I go, honestly, I don't think Rory could win 2 of these and actually catch up to world number 1. I don't know how the points work, but just because you said that, I don't know if this is updated as of this Masters win. But Scotty's world number 1 was 603 total points. Rory's at 370, so almost double him in OWGR points. So I don't think Rory's moving to number 1 anytime soon, especially if Scotty gets, like you said, solo second, right? He beat 90 other golfers today in the Masters and only got beat by 1 guy.
And barely could even hit his driver more than anywhere near the fairway.
Yeah, in fact, I
think, is he wearing G4? Is that the shoe he's wearing now? Is that those are?
No,
G4 shoes from Scotty?
Those are Nike.
Yeah,
it's a joke. It's like an homage to apparently some Nikes that Sevi wore. They call them the double logo Nikes.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if that was an earnest
because
question.
I put in the chat because I couldn't tell what they were, and I said that whatever shoes he's wearing, they need to make a commercial. They're like, how does your current shoe protect your ankles? And then they just do a close up of Scotty Scheffler's feet dancing around on every tee shot and be like, our shoes do, and then
we got you covered.
Clip to Scotty Scheffler dominating.
No, all the Nike guys were wearing them. They look better on some guys than others. I think those are like a Brooks shoe to me.
But then
Scotty,
but really what it's trying to zoom in on, not like the ankle bracelet he has or the shoes he's wearing. What it zooms in on is his ankle monitor from him getting arrested last year. That's what it zooms in on.
Hey, charges were dropped, okay? Charges were dropped.
They're like, does your ankle monitor do this? And that's just him winning the Masters twice.
So just to stir the pot a little bit, do you guys think it's unfair that Rory now gets to put on a second green jacket after getting to play Augusta as a practice round before the tournament week?
Here we go.
All the golfers invited to play the Masters. Every golfer invited to play the Masters is allowed to go to Augusta, Georgia and play. The only people bitching and moaning are people that are never going to go to Augusta, Georgia.
You know who didn't go to Augusta?
Not just as a player,
Matt,
but as a fan. Those are the only people complaining.
Your boy Chris Gotterup
he complained.
Matt, chill out.
That's what I'm saying. Anyone who is playing the Masters is invited to go play as in a practice round.
Yeah, I know. Some guys go.
They're allowed to go play.
You know who hasn't complained?
That's my point. Is the only people.
Ricky
only
Fowler.
people that are complaining are guys in the basement at mom's house. Look, I'm not a Rory fan, right? But
we know
he's a Masters champ. Of course, he's going to go to Augusta. he's going to go. I even put in the group chat how he could have answered that question even better. Okay, I was defending Rory. Rory, hire me.
Matt, settle down.
I'll be your HR guy.
Matt just muted all of us so we can go on a rampage. I'm sorry I opened up that can of worms. All right, guys. Hey, on the Medilli side, we're out of here.
Can I get one? Can I get one more thing really fast?
Yeah, take it away. Take it away.
I know this is an absolute shot in the dark. We're way out, but it's on recording, so then we can be held to it. Next year, quick answer. Someone go. How are we looking at next year?
I'm taking Rory.
Matt?
Or isn't it legally
Mario.
binding? Don't I have to say Rory?
If you've already
No,
answered,
Matt, you're gonna say Scotty. We know you are.
No. I'm going to say out loud Rory McIlroy. Go Roars!
Hey, I think as long as Scotty doesn't keep following Tiger Woods' shoes with the getting arrested and hopefully stays away from some DUIs and some car crashes, I think Scotty's coming back for vengeance next year.
sticking his neck out on that one.
Yeah, I like that too.
Mr. Three-Peat, I'm assuming you're going Rory also.
I mean, I think to go Grand Slam to back is insane. And then, like I said previously, the interview question about them saying, "Oh, like, does this something that bothers you looking at, the next mountain to climb?" And him saying, "I never really thought about it." Like, I don't think it's in his head at all. I think three-peat. I mean, I think it just seemed to be ridiculous to not. It'd be like, it's the same thing as counting Rosie out of the Masters. To count Rory out next year, even though obviously never done, pressure, whatever, to count him out, I just think it's crazy. Like, I'll say right now on record, three-peat.
All right. I'm with you. Now, on that note, I know I said we were going to leave, but, watching the celebration between last year and
hit
this
the
year,
30-minute mark.
obviously the celebration was quite different, right? You could almost feel it last year, like this weight lifted off his shoulders. You could feel it just watching it. Today was obviously much different, a little bit more maybe a positive reaction, I guess, right? Just an overall celebration. And I almost think that if what you're saying is true, Jared, that he was like, he didn't really actually think about going back to back. Now he's got a little taste of blood. And so maybe that's just enough motivation for him to say, you know what, actually, it is kind of fun to go back to back. Let's do this one more time.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, actually. I never thought about it that way in regards to his celebration. The celebration this year was kind of like, this is a hot take, but he kind of seemed like your boy did it. Like, he kind of just seemed like he's kind of like your dog's in the hunt, like he just kind of like had that little glow to him where it was like, oh, you thought I didn't have a chance. Like, just that kind of like almost swagger to him where like I see that going in next year. Like, oh, y'all thought I couldn't do it again, huh? It kind of was like a thing you're saying. It was not a like, wow, I did this thing. It was just like, yeah, see what's going on.
What'd you expect?
Yeah. I think that's a great way to put it, G. Like, just that the celebration was so much different. I never really thought about it that way.
Well, that's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, is he going to cry? And I think he did have a little bit of a emotion there in terms of, my girlfriend's over there screaming, he's crying. But yeah, you're right. It was totally different, right? He wasn't dapping people up walking up the hill last year. It was more of kind of a sobbing kind of little high five. I mean, he was like on cloud nine today. It was like a superstar doing superstar things. And I think last year, I just don't know that he felt like a superstar doing superstar things because it took him, 11 straight years of not winning that and not getting the Grand Slam. So,
I think you have to just take it as it is, in the fact of just what I don't know if any of us have really said it, and this is something that I think a lot of us don't like talk about enough, is like we genuinely, by factual information, watched history today. I mean, it was fourth person ever to go back to back. I mean, look at this: Tiger, Jack, Faldo, Rory. I mean, it's not just a win. I mean, just to see that is unbelievable. Like, whether Matt wants to hate him all he wants, I don't really care. It is so cool to see. I don't care. I mean, whatever the sport, whatever the player you want to pick is just, you can't deny it. It's so cool to see. And I think what you were saying, maybe GM taking words out of your mouth, but like, I felt like he kind of like showed that today. It was just like, yeah, I'm part of that now. Instead of just the Grand Slam, it was like, your boy did it.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, and since you talked about, it's making history, he now has 6 major championships, which puts him tied for 12th of any professional golfer ever competing in major championships. So he's got 6. He's joined Nick Faldo, Lee Trevino, and Phil Mickelson. I don't know if you've heard of those guys. One more major championship would put him tied for 7th with Harry Vardon, Bobby Jones, Gene Sarazen, Sam Snead, and Arnold Palmer. I mean, we're in the territory where every name we name is like everybody recognizes these names, right? So you're right. He's every major win he gets from here on out is just another stamp in his history in the game of golf.
Can I throw one more thing out?
Yep.
So what do we think, just like broad thoughts on the fact that he's only won, and by only I mean like a ridiculous thing to say, the word only, on 29 PGA Tour wins compared to some of these guys that are just like all the guys you named that are just huge. Like it kind of like 6 major winners. You're like, he's got to be, one of the best ever. And then you look at the wins, you're like, the major and the wins just doesn't seem like it's compares to like the leaderboard today and winning today. Just like it doesn't seem balanced for me, where like I've thought of him like definitely going Grand Slam back to back. I'm like one of the best ever, right? And then you look at those stats and you're like, I don't know.
What did we love about Brooks back in 2018, 2019? We loved that he would outwardly say, I don't actually care about PGA Tour events. I just show up for the majors. And he would even say, by the time I show up to a major championship, I already know that there's only like 20 guys I have to beat because the other guys don't stand a chance.
True.
So to answer your question, I don't know that I care that much. I mean, he's got 51 professional wins if you combine DP or European Tour and PGA Tour. So I mean, he's a winner. There's no doubt about it. And if you were to ask him, I'd guess he might say the same thing, right? For him at his stage in his career, it's counting majors at this point.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, boys. So that's it. You heard it here first. Rory's going to win next year. Unless Scotty can stay out of jail.
I really wish, my last comment, I really wish when he made that putt on 18, the crowd started saying three-peat. That would have been the only thing that made it all worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
If it just three-peat instead of Rory, that would have solidified it for me. But Matt would have cried. So,
gosh, now I can't wait till next year. Golly, every Masters.
I had the TV muted. TV was muted, man.
All right, boys, we're gonna wrap it up, and then we'll
go Roars 2027, baby.
We'll do a full tournament recap tomorrow for our normal Monday night pods. So stick around for more if you want to hear more Masters talk. But awesome weekend, guys. Congrats to all of you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for letting me be on here. First podcast ever. I had a blast doing it.
Absolutely, love having you.
And also, don't eat wings on Masters Sunday.
Yeah, says nobody.
Yeah.
Classless.
Disgusting.
Absolute
lack of class.
All right, Matt. Fire
you
up
got invited over
right?
to have pimento cheese sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches. Told me no.
Hey, fire up a Twitter poll. We'll get this settled.
We'll figure it out.
We got to get Matt out of here.
First, Matt, and then you can figure out what's
We've got Shannon Sharp over there yelling at us. All right, boys. We'll talk tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Bye.